What's going on out there, YouTube? John back again. Well, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, so I figured I'd get one video in for you guys to watch while you're all on your holiday vacations. I had a bunch of pickups recently. Pretty much everything I'm going to show you now is like from Laserdisc Forever members. I only got one eBay and one half-price books pickup, but we'll save those towards the end. A lot of you members been sending me stuff. A lot of you local guys, I've been meeting you and picking up some stuff, so let's get this going. Also got some Black Friday specials on Blu-rays that are already going on right now, so if you guys have enough time to watch this video, hopefully if I get it up, in enough time for you to watch it, you'll have enough time to hit some of the stores and see that they got a bunch of good stuff on sale. So, anyway, let's get it started. So the first set of discs I got, I ended up picking these out and picking these up in Joliet a couple weeks ago. There was a guy, Brad Cisco, shout out to you, buddy. He's over there on Laserdisc Forever. He ended up cluing me into a guy who was trying to unload his whole entire collection, and I got a hold of the guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll just give you everything that I have. Don't worry about money or anything. I'd rather give it to a fan than donate it to somebody who's not going to care." So I ended up getting a ton of discs from him. I ended up donating the discs that I didn't want to a fellow Laserdisc Forever member, Lee Spears. Shout out to you, man. Ended up selling Lee a player, one of my extras that he had. Drove up to him near Chicago, and I ended up just saying, "Here, I got all these extra movies. Go ahead and have them." But anyway, this is what I ended up keeping from that little score. So first one we got, In the Mouth of Madness, John Carpenter. One of his best, there's some bad ones out there, but this is one of his best films. It has a great twist ending. It keeps you guessing the whole way through. Sam Neill gives a great performance throughout this whole thing. This is really one of John Carpenter's more underrated films. I'm glad it came out on Blu-ray recently, but I've been wanting to get the Laserdisc Forever because it has a great commentary. I don't remember if it made it over to the Blu-ray or not, but either way, there are some supplemental features on here that did not make it over to the Blu-ray, so I've been wanting to get this on Laserdisc for a while. So, next up, and this is the one movie that's in everybody's collection, so I won't talk about this one. Speed. They say it's in everyone's collection, but guess what? It's not in my collection. Until now, that is. So, anyway. Next one up. Now, this one's actually a pretty notorious rotter, but believe it or not, it's not too bad. That's Dolores Claiborne. This is a great movie. I remember watching this back on TBS when it, a couple years after it came out. Nice, great movie. Now, regarding the discs, this is a DADC pressing. Disc 1 is pretty much clean for the most part. There's side 1 is completely clean. Side 2 has a little bit of speckling for the first 5 minutes. After that, clears right up. Disc 2, side 3. Now, that one does have some speckling, but there's no audio distortion, so it's perfectly watchable. So I figured it's a keeper. It's hard enough to get, clean copies of that movie, so might as well keep that one. Next one up, Reservoir Dogs. Great movie. Not my favorite Tarantino movie. That title is reserved for Pulp Fiction. Always will be. But still a great movie nonetheless. Like Sam Hatch says, shout out, man. Worst side break in the history of Laserdisc. Right in the middle of a conversation, this thing switches sides. Horrible side break. But one movie I've never had on Laserdisc. Finally got it on Laserdisc. So, another one. Now, this one I saved for my wife because she's a big Mariah Carey fan. I got this one for this is part of the Fantasy Tour. Now, this is another DADC pressing. This one is rotted, but it's speckling, and there's no audio distortion, and you can make out everything that's going on, so I figure it's a keeper. So why not? She likes that stuff. Now, this one, I'm a pretty big Rutger Hauer fan, and this is one movie I've never heard of. It's called Past Midnight. You know what? Never seen it. Couldn't tell you anything about it. I just like Rutger Hauer, so we'll see what happens. Looks like a pretty good movie. And now, coming up on part of the crown jewel. Last one, I had not the last one, but I had to get this. We talked about Pulp Fiction. There you go. My favorite Tarantino film, one of my favorite movies of all time. You know what? I only got this one. I kept this one because it's a Japanese pressing, and I just think it's cool because it's a Japanese pressing. So it's going to have a nice little home, but the Criterion, that's still the best one. But like I said, nice little Japanese pressing. One of the next ones I picked up. Now, this one was the one that made me, very, very happy that I found. Controversy aside, Clown House. I already told you guys in one of my last videos when I talked about Nature of the Beast, we all know about what Victor Salva did, during the making of this movie. The director, he, didn't do things the right way. I don't want to use the word because it's not appropriate for me, but, that aside, it's still a pretty good movie. Too bad about the controversy behind the scenes. It sucks. The DVD's getting pretty hard to chase after. Copies usually sell for about $100. The Laserdisc is very hard to find in and of itself, but I was glad that was part of the lot, so happy to have that one. And last part of the little Joliet score was Natural Born Killers. Another, we can all say Tarantino all day long. Tarantino's little stamp is on this. He does get a story credit, but it deviated very far from the original screenplay. That aside, still a great movie. Probably my favorite. It's not my favorite Oliver Stone film. It's one of my favorites. I reserve that for Platoon, Born on the 4th of July. But Natural Born Killers is a great movie in and of itself. Terrific performances by Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, Robert Downey Jr., Rodney Dangerfield. Just a great movie in and all around. Glad to have that nice special edition on Laserdisc. I do have the Digibook unrated Blu-ray, but this will do nicely. So that's out of the way. Next person, Peter Bean Cardie, dealt with him again. He ended up getting some lots and stuff like that. Me and him partnered on a lot and I got a bunch of movies out of that. But some of this stuff was like little side things that me and him worked on a deal on. First thing he got me, I finally got my copy of Dracula with Bela Lugosi. The Universal Monsters collection. 100% complete. Got every Universal Monster movie that was ever released on Laserdisc, so that one's out. Finally got that done. Next one. Now, this was part of the side deal lot we did. Blood for Dracula. Never seen it. Looks interesting, so I figured, what the hell, why not? I've been hearing good things about it. This one. Another great movie that just recently, about 2 years ago, finally got a DVD release, and that was Parents. I think it actually got released on DVD, earlier than that, but I've never seen it in stores, but I was just glad to have this one on Laserdisc because it's still a great movie. This is actually shot open matte, so you don't lose any image by it not being in widescreen. 3M pressing, but believe it or not, 100% rot free. Absolutely zero laser rot whatsoever. Plays back perfectly. It had the sticky edges, but a little bit of Goo Gone and a rag. Got the sticky edges gone, and disc plays perfectly, so glad to have that one. Next one, a movie that I've been wanting to see for quite some time, but I never wanted to get that stupid Blu-ray because it's always so expensive, and that's Salo. And for those of you who aren't familiar with this movie, it's just basically bondage, torture, everything that you can imagine. Excuse me, guys, I'm still getting over a cold here. Anyway, I skimmed through it. It's pretty interesting, to say the least. I'm going to have to actually sit down and vest myself in this movie, so we'll see. Next one up. Little 80s teen angst there, Just One of the Guys. Funny movie. Just wanted to pick that one up, too. Great movie. Glad to have that one on Laserdisc. One of the main reasons I wanted to partner with Peter on this lot, this is the last part of the, second to last part of the lot. Pink Flamingos, John Waters. Been wanting to get this one on Laserdisc for a long time, and glad to finally have it. There were some scratches on here that were concerning, but they weren't too deep. Disc played back perfectly, so glad to finally have this one on Laserdisc. I won't have to chase this one down anymore. Now he ended up getting another deal from somebody else. There is one more disc part of that, but I'm using it as kind of like support beam right now for all these discs I got, so I'll get back to that in a minute. But anyway, he ended up getting another lot of discs from someplace, and I bought some movies off of him. But one of the other things I wanted to get, got the Keep. This is the full screen edition, analog sound. But you know what? I just wanted to get this because I have the widescreen Laserdisc of the Keep. I just wanted to get this just so I could say, hey, I have them both. So, still a great movie. I wish it would come out on Blu-ray, but for those of you who don't know, there's a Kickstarter going on. They finished a documentary on the making of the Keep. They got interviews with everybody, but right now they just need, I think, $50,000 just for post-production work. So if I could link it down there, I would, but I'll link it eventually. But yeah, if you guys can contribute to getting that documentary out there, that would be great, because hopefully with that documentary gets out there, maybe people will start paying more attention. Maybe we can get the rights issues, over and done with, and we'll finally get the Keep on Blu-ray or DVD. So that would be really nice. So next one up, back to Rutger Hauer. Got The Hitcher. Great movie. Seen it countless times. Got this one on DVD, but wanted to get this one on Laserdisc. So next one up. This is the full screen one, Firestarter. One of the few Stephen King adaptations I've never seen, so can't really talk about it. I got it cheap, so I'll get the widescreen one eventually, but this is still pretty cool. They did do it, now this next one they did do a digital sound one of, but this one's still good anyway. Airplane 2. Funny movie. You know what? It's nowhere near as good as the first one, but on its own, it's still a pretty decent movie. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's funny. There's still a lot of good, really funny moments in there. So, anyway. Next one up. Now, these he had. I was very happy he had these. Got The Fly, the hands down one of the best remakes of any movie ever made. I prefer this to the original. This one's actually the digital sound edition. There were 2 pressings of this. They look seemingly identical. But if you look in the lower corner there where my finger's at, see it says digital sound. There is another version of this that does not have digital sound. It's analog only. So, but got the digital sound edition. Prays perfectly fine. Awesome. Next one up. Now this one is a tad rotted. And that's The Fly 2. This is a 3M pressing. So there is, I think the last 10 minutes, there is some speckling on side 1. But other than that, side 2 is good. I can live with the little amount of speckling that there is. There's no audio distortion, so I can live with it. I'll deal with it. So, next one up. Now, another one of my other favorite Stephen King adaptations, Cat's Eye. I got this one on DVD, but I love this artwork, for the Laserdisc, because the DVD doesn't have this nice artwork. I like the close-up of this guy right here. So, really good movie. I've actually read, I want to say Skeleton Crew had the short story that had Quitters Inc. So the short story, there is so much. If you get a chance, you got to read the short story. So much more to the Quitters Inc. story than there is in the movie. But it's still good. They're both good on their own merits. So anyway, now the last thing from Peter Bean Cardie. Now this was part of the lot that he picked up that me and him went halvesies on. This one is really cool, and I had to get this one. The Flintstones box set, the first 14 episodes. This has John Krikfalski, creator of Ren and Stimpy. He had his hand in creating this box set. There's a lot of bonus material on here, especially this has the Winston cigarette commercial that, has been banned ever since then, and I don't think any other DVD release out there, has that commercial. Now, don't quote me. I'm not saying no, there is none out there. I'm going to say I don't know, because I don't have any of the Flintstones box sets on DVD. I'm not the biggest Flintstones fan. The main reason I got this is because of John Krikfalski, because I'm a big Ren and Stimpy fan. So, anyway, hopefully I'll be delving into this box set a little bit. All right, so we got Peter Bean Cardie's out of the way. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate everything. Next one up, our moderator, Brendan Murphy, lives right up near me in Chicago. He ended up having a couple of discs posted on his page. I only picked up one, and that would be Curse 3, Blood Sacrifice. Now, I've never seen this one, but it's always been a little elusive for me to get, so I kind of had to get it, because I don't think this one's ever come out on DVD. Now, for those of you who may know, there are 4 Curse movies, but none of them are related in any way, shape, or form. They're all separate, standalone movies, so, even though this says Curse 3, it's still a different movie to me, so there's a reason I picked that up, and we'll get there towards the end, but anyway. Next one up, my man, Bran the Man Petrie, over there at Laserdisc Forever. This guy hooked it up fat. We have no idea how good he hooked it up. Got a bunch of discs from him. Gave me great prices on them all. We ended up, now I'll get a little more into it, but anyway. First one I got, finally got my Star Wars collection on Laserdisc Complete. Got Ewoks, The Battle for Endor. Been wanting to get this disc for quite some time. I actually used to have a copy of this on Betamax back in the 80s that my parents recorded off of ABC, I want to say. So I haven't seen this since Betamax, and it was very good to see this on Laserdisc again. Still a good movie. I also have Caravan of Courage. Well, it's actually called, let me rephrase that. It's called on Laserdisc The Ewok Adventure. On DVD, it's called Caravan of Courage. So anyway, next one up. Another movie I've never seen, Hit List, but I got it because of Jan Michael Vincent and William Lustig. William Lustig, of course, did Maniac Cop. So I figured this would be a pretty good movie to check out. All right, next one up. Another movie I've only ever heard bits and pieces about, but I picked it up anyway because I have a buddy of mine who told me it's a great movie, 84 Charlie Mopic. I know it's a found footage war film, and what I do know is that out here in the United States, never came out on DVD, so Laserdisc is still the only way to see it. So been wanting to see this one for a while, so I finally glad I got that. The VHS is pretty hard to track down too. So next one up, finally had to get this one from him, Fast Getaway 2. Only ever seen Fast Getaway, never seen Fast Getaway 2, so very glad to have this one on Laserdisc. Another movie, never came out on DVD, so glad to have that one. One of the main reasons I got, that's why I will call him Bran the Man, is because he got me Chuck Norris sidekicks, man. This is my childhood, dude. I saw this one back in the theater, actually, in 1992. I made my parents drag me to go see it because I was going through a Chuck Norris phase myself back then. I was discovering a lot of his movies. I had just seen Missing in Actions 1 and 2. I had seen Invasion USA. And then Sidekicks came out. It looked like this awesome movie. And then, of course, I loved it. When it came out on pay-per-view, I rented it, copied it to VHS. And then what sucks is over the years, it never, ever came out on DVD. I have no idea why. There is a pretty big cult following for this movie. So as soon as he had this for sale, I immediately snatched it up. I had to grab it because it took me way, way back. And you know what? I watched it as soon as I got it, and it's still a great freaking movie. So, again, childhood relived. I got a couple of movies like that I'm going to be showing you guys. Another one that he got me, and I haven't seen this one in a long, long time. That's Man on Fire. This one, it's still a good movie. I prefer this one to the remake that had Denzel in it. But that aside, this movie has a little bit of rot. Last 20 minutes, I want to say, are fairly rotted, but, no audio distortion, just some a fair amount of speckling, but watchable. Side 2 is not that bad, but, still watchable. I'm going to keep it. Bran, actually, he took care of me on this one. I brought it to his attention, and he cut me a little side deal, and that's going to come up near the end. Another one I picked up through him was Metal Storm: The Destruction of Jared Sin. I've only ever seen bits and pieces about this movie, but what I can tell you is this is the hands down last Charlie Band directed film before he formed Empire Pictures. So this was actually funded by Universal. Then after this, he formed Empire Pictures, and the rest is history, as they say. I'm going to have to jump backwards a little bit because I misfiled my discs. I thought Bran gave me this one, but I ended up getting this one off of Bean Cardie. And that was, we talk about reliving my childhood, The Wizard, Actually saw this in the theater back in 1989, and you know what? It's still pretty bad, but, it's a good movie, it's good. Let's leave it at that. It's good. I just got a Nintendo recently, original NES from a garage sale, and it worked, but then as soon as I got that, this popped up, so it was kind of like, oh, well, this is cool. I got the Wizard and I got a Nintendo now, so, anyway, like I said, good little movie. It's still a childhood favorite, and they'll never take that away from me. It's corny now that I look at it now that I'm older, but it's still a pretty good movie. Anyway, now another reason why Bran's a pretty good guy. Me and him been going at this one for a couple months, but we finally came to an impasse. That Man on Fire I got was kind of rotted, and then it turns out I had a disc that he wanted. So we finally did a swap, and finally got Chud 2. Very happy to have this one. Now this one I can say safely, it did come out on DVD about 2.5 years ago, at least in the United States. It was available on DVD in Britain, but not over here, and it came out in like this multi-pack, and it was in widescreen at least, which was a really good thing. But the Laserdisc is still kind of sought after, and I have the original Chud on Laserdisc, and I've been wanting to get Chud 2 for a while. This one 3M pressing, but guess what? 100% free rot. No, maybe a couple trace, maybe a little speckle here or there, but nothing major. Great movie. So glad to finally have that one. All right, Bran's out of the way. Thanks again, buddy. Appreciate everything. I dealt with this one seller. Couldn't even tell you his name. He was a fly-by-night guy, and he just wanted to sell a couple of discs and get out of it. I picked up 2 of them from him. Now, one is sitting in the rack. It's got to unwarp itself because it was a little bit warped. I don't want to remove it. But the one that he had that I've been wanting to pick up for a while was Fright Night. Now, again, notorious DADC rotter, but good news. Side A, clean. Side B, a little bit of speckling, just a little, but nothing to turn my nose up at, When you buy some of these discs, you collectors out there, I know you watch my videos, just there's a fair amount of give and take when it comes to Laserdiscs, and there's a fair amount of what you're willing to deal with and what you're willing not to deal with. If I'm going to get a movie that I know may be a rotter, as long as it doesn't look like a total and complete snowstorm, I can live with it. I know there's never going to be a perfect copy out there. I mean, I do have some movies that are notorious rotters. Like I have The Cable Guy. And that is one of the, top 5 most avoided releases on Laserdisc database. But surprisingly, completely free of rot, my copy. I have one of the few pressings out there that has 0 rot on it. So, and I know people are looking for those. But like I said, I don't think I'm ever going to find a 100% rot-free copy of Fright Night. So I rolled the dice. I got about an 80% rot-free copy of Fright Night. So you know what? I'll take it. That's fair. It's like if you go on a class scale, that's a B right there. So I'll take a B. That works for me. So anyway, one of the last guys I dealt with here, Thomas Law, based out of Germany. I hope I'm saying your name right if you're watching this. he had a bunch of discs for sale, and I mean a bunch, nothing but good horror movies. And he only wanted, now he said 10 euros a piece. I was able to get him down to 9 euros a piece, and that roughly translates to 10 American. So I paid 10 bucks a movie plus shipping, you know, and then it averaged out to about maybe, let's just say $12 a movie after shipping. But there's a lot of really good titles in here, and just some of these you couldn't pass up. First one, I've been wanting to see this one for a while now. I know they did a Blu-ray release of this over in Germany. Or not in Germany, excuse me, Great Britain. And it is region free, but I'm really not trying to track that down. That's Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh. I know this is one of Tom Savini's last projects that he did before he semi-retired. So this is a movie I've been wanting to see for quite some time. I know it, if it did get a DVD release, I don't think it was a pretty good one. So this is like one of the most legitimate releases that it ever got, at least in the United States on home video. So been wanting to see that one for a while. Check this one out. Never seen this movie. Nightwish. Looked pretty interesting, so I figured I'd give it a check. You know, no rot, no nothing, so what the hell, you know, a couple bucks, why not? Now, we got some good ones here. We got one of my favorite 80s horror films, The Gate, Stephen Dorff, Louis Tripp, great, phenomenal film. I've seen this movie countless freaking times. You know, I've had I had that crappy bootleg DVD that Platinum Disc Corporation, a.k.a. Echo Bridge, put out. That was a straight dupe from the Laserdisc. I had that when it came out. I picked up the Monstrous edition of The Gate when it came out, but then I've been wanting to get it on Laserdisc for quite some time, so finally got that one. No rot on this one either. Very happy. And wouldn't be complete with, of course, Gate 2. Never been released on DVD in the U.S., it did get a release in Canada through Alliance. I want to say, now, you can't quote me on this one. I do not know if Alliance just sourced the master from the Laserdisc or if they were able to use a film print and use it in widescreen. Couldn't tell you, not 100% sure, but I do know that out here, we don't have it on DVD. We only have it on Laserdisc. Been wanting to get this one ever since I saw it on VHS back in 1990. So, glad I got that one. So, got both Gate movies knocked out. Next one. Rumpelstiltskin. Never actually seen it. Wanted to see it when I was a kid. DVD's getting harder to track down, so when he had it on Laserdisc, figured it was worth a pickup. Next one. Along those same lines, Mark Jones, who directed Leprechaun, he directed Rumpelstiltskin. So, and Thomas Law also had these. Unfortunately, he didn't have part 1, but he had 2 through 4, so I'll pick them up anyway, because these are actually harder to get. And that's Leprechaun 2, which is a good movie, anyway. Leprechaun 3, my favorite one of them all. And Leprechaun 4. You know, you can't really, you know, I'm just going to talk about the series as a whole. I like the whole series. I have the Blu-ray set. Part 1's still the best. Part 3 is my favorite sequel. Part 4, you know, I've revisited it. I didn't like it when it came out. I like it now more than I did. But I like the Leprechaun series. They're corny, they're cheap, but you know what? They're funny. And Warwick Davis, he makes it worth watching. It would not be the Leprechaun series without Warwick Davis. The proof in that is if any of you guys ever saw Leprechaun Origins, that movie stinks so bad it's not even funny. I would have never bought that if it didn't come in the collection. But all that did was prove that Warwick Davis is integral to the Leprechaun franchise, and replacing him just does not do any good. So, anyway, coming up on the last bit of that, the other one of the main reasons I got this, and I couldn't believe I got all 4 of them. Silent Night, Deadly Night, Parts 1, 2, 3, and finally, Part 4. Now, Part 5 actually never came out on Laserdisc. That one only came out on DVD, VHS. I actually like the whole series. 1 through 3 all share the story of the family. Part 1, obviously the best. Part 2, I don't even know if I would consider it a great movie. It's just, it is what it is. You know, Part 3 actually tries, but it kind of falls down flat a little bit. You know, if not for Bill Moseley, it would be horrible. Part 4 has nothing to do with that, but if you're a Brian Yuzna, Woody Keith fan, you know, Society and stuff like that, Part 4 actually follows the lines of Society pretty closely. Part 4 is a good movie on its own. It just shouldn't be called Silent Night, Deadly Night. It should just be called The Initiation, kind of like Halloween 3 should just be called Season of the Witch. But anyway, glad to have all 4 of those. That was awesome. Got that whole series done in one shot. Now, the last thing I got from him, unfortunately, it was the only rotter in the bunch. And I was really looking forward to it. And then we go back to Curse 3. That would be The Curse. But you know, never actually got a chance to see The Curse, but the good thing is, what I found it hilarious was that I bought this disc, and then literally while I was waiting for it to come in the mail, they Scream Factory had announced they're coming out with parts 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. So I buy that, then I got 3 on Laserdisc, now I just need to track down part 4, so I'm all good. This one's bad rot. This is like the worst rot. This is Snowstorm. This is audio distortion. This is every worst thing you can have. This is one of them bad 3M pressings, so... This one, unfortunately, I just put it in the video just to show it, but unfortunately this one's done. It's, yeah. Anyway. So, that's out of the way. So now, the one we've all been waiting for to say, did he complete it or did he not complete it? Well, he completed it. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Finally got it in. This sucker took a couple weeks to get in the mail. I don't know what was going on over in Pennsylvania where I got it out of, but man... Their post office sucks because this thing took forever to get in. This one does have a little bit of rot, but it was nowhere near as bad as the other two that I got. This one just has some middle minor speckling towards the end of side 1, and then it has the speckling is only in the end credits of side 2. Like literally, as soon as the movie ends, the credits come, and then heavy speckling starts taking toll. So, you know what? I did contact the seller. I brought it to his attention. And he just said, you know what, I'll give you a refund. You know, don't worry about it. You know, really nice guy. But, you know, part 4 is completed finally. You know, I mean, if he asked me to send it back, I more than likely would have. You know, but the quest is somewhat over. But I still will be trying to track down, like, a less rotted copy. Hopefully I can track one down. If not, I'll be content with this one. So, Nightmare on Elm Street set, finally complete, over and done with. So... I think pretty much I almost got my Masters of Mad Men collection completed, or whatever we want to call it. I got them all pretty much now. So, last Laserdisc pickup, ended up getting this one from Half Price Books. That would be Hoffa. Never actually seen it, but been wanting to see it. Looks like a pretty good movie. So, anyway. Laserdiscs are out of the way. Now, like I said, Black Friday's coming up. There are a couple things on sale in the stores right now. If you can get out sometime tonight, if you have enough time to catch this video, but I doubt it. I suggest you go for it. First thing up, this is actually going to be on sale all week at FYE stores. Ex Machina, haven't seen this movie, but it's on sale at FYE right now for $5. This will be, I think, $5 at Best Buy, and I think like $6 at Walmart for the Black Friday specials. But you can get it right now, $5 all the way through Saturday over at FYE. So be sure to pick it up. Next one. This one's on sale at FYE too. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now, this is the remaster. This one has a different encode, like the initial one with the slipcover, the Skynet edition, that's what it's called. That one had a VC1 codec, and it had some extra filtering, edge enhancement, DNR, and the like. You know, it wasn't as bad as most Blu-ray releases, but it was kind of bad. But this transfer is the same transfer, re-encoded in AVC, and absolutely no filtering. So I've been wanting to check this one out for $5. It was a pretty good price point, so picked it up. Right now, Target had this on sale. They had this on sale a couple weeks ago. I got it for like $9, Jurassic World. Didn't get a chance to catch this in theaters, but a $10 blind buy it was more or less worth it. So right now, I think Target stores, you'll probably have enough time to catch it when this video is over. You can go to a Super Target if you have one in your area. Target's open to like 10, 11 o'clock. Right now it's $10 today only, so go pick it up. This one's another one that's on sale at Target this week, Birdman. Now this one, I actually got one of the last copies with a slipcover. Most of the copies in the store right now do not have one, but it's on sale for $6. So it's pretty much just the same as the regular Black Friday price. Same thing with Target, ended up grabbing this, Terminator Genesis. They had a 10% off coupon, so I was able to get this for about 10 and some change. But if you go to FYE right now, they have it $10. So pretty good deal. So, ended up going to Half Price Books and actually found one of the rarest Star Wars DVDs to get. This was actually mispriced. It was only $10, and I ended up, you know, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, $10 for the Ewok Adventure discs, you know, but anyway, I picked it up. Very happy to have that one. So, last but not least, on the Blu-ray pickups. This will probably be the greatest pickup of the year, the best box set of the year, and it ain't Back to the Future. That's the Hellraiser Scarlet box from Arrow Home Video. One of the, pretty much, man, I don't, you know, this is a thing of beauty. If you are a high-definition fan, if you love Blu-ray, and if you are region-free, you know, if you didn't get a chance to get this when it was on sale, I feel sorry for you. This is one beautiful, beautiful, beautiful box set. All the movies are restored in 2K from the Interpositives. The soundtracks sound phenomenal. The picture quality is outstanding. The supplemental material is so deep. The commentaries comes with a 200-page book. Comes with a bonus disc full of short films. You know, this is probably like the release of the year, and I'm glad to say I'm one of the 5,000 people that have a copy of it. So believe me, the wait was painstaking. I was on pins and needles the whole entire month of October, wondering if this thing was ever going to show up at my doorstep, but I'm glad it did. So anyway, guys, that's all said and done. I do have some more stuff coming in. I got another package from Kevin Kobos coming in. Got a few other discs. I'm getting Jeremiah Johnson over there at Laserdisc Forever. Me and him are doing a trade, so I'm getting some stuff in from him. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get another video shot before Christmas comes up. So, but on that note, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and keep it spinning. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.